was the truly bizarre revelation that Russian state-controlled media, for some reason, was in the Oval Office today when this scene happened with Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, to be clear, the Trump White House will not allow the Associated Press or Reuters into the Oval Office to cover White House events anymore, but somehow TASS media, Kremlin-controlled Russian state media, somehow made their way into the Oval Office for this berating of the Ukrainian president today, and Russian state media was in the Oval Office somehow live streaming from the event. Afterwards, look at this bizarre statement from the White House attributed to an unnamed White House official. Quote, TASS was not on the approved list of media for today's pool. As soon as it came to the attention of press office staff that he was in the Oval, he was escorted out by the press secretary. He is not on the approved list for the press conference.
What? What are we talking about here? How big is the Oval Office? See, this is the thing that upsets me. This is the thing that really makes me angry, because people say it's easier for you to apologize, right? Just apologize. Just do it and then apologize later. So the TASS reporter is not on the approved list, but somehow he got there and he was able to live stream in the Oval Office. And then we put out a statement later on that he was not on the approved list. And as soon as we found out, he was escorted in the Oval Office. How big is that space? The press person that was in that room, scanning the room, understanding who everybody that's in the room. You can't just enter the Oval Office. You need a badge. You need press credentials to be in that room. How do you enter the room? With the badge, walking in there with your camera equipment. For those of you who don't understand how media works, to live stream, right? You can live stream from your phone. You can live stream from your computer with some type of live streaming device, but you can't just walk up in there with nothing, right? To live stream, you're in the room. How did you get in the room to begin with? Because security has to make sure everybody in that room with another president, everybody has to be vetted. So was it a security breach? So there was a security breach in the meeting with Zelensky, with President Zelensky of the Ukraine. There was a security breach because you said, we do not know how this guy got into this meeting. Do you understand how serious that is? Do you understand the security implications and why that is so dangerous that somebody got into that room without your knowledge, without you knowing? That is a security breach. What if that media, that Russian reporter, what if he was an operative to take out Zelensky? This is a Russian person who is fighting against Zelensky and the Ukraine. You allow that person to be in the room with that president. When the president made his journey to the United States, his people have to make sure that there is security for that president to come to the White House. So now you allow his enemy in that room without his knowledge and his security forces knowledge. Where we do that at, and how that happened? How did the security person for Zelensky not be made aware of the Russia media being in that room? And how in the world did the United States press corps, or the person that is responsible for everybody entering that room, who you look into everybody's eyes, are you supposed to be here? Are you supposed to? How is it that we didn't know that that person was in that room? That was a security breach for the president of the Ukraine, because that person could have been dangerous to the president of the Ukraine. And the fact that you did not let their security forces know, or their security person know that. Have you ever seen any type of espionage movie? Have you seen any movie at all? Any movie that has to do with this type of stuff? Born Identity, breach, anything? Everybody getting into that room? You need security clearance to get into that room. Are you kidding me? You need security clearance to get into that room. And you're telling me that a Russian media person got into that room without your knowledge? Cap. I call cap. You knew, because Trump is doing the bidding for Russia. Trump is doing the bidding for Putin because it's obvious that when Putin helped him to win his first election, he owes Putin. So now this entire thing that Rachel and MSNBC is laying out is evident that, hey, you're turning off the support for the power grid for the Ukraines. Your Attorney General, Pam Bondi, canceling stuff that we have in place to foreign influences within our nation. You're stopping stuff that has to deal with that because Russia knows that they need those things. The sanctions and stuff that you're saying, hey, man, we no longer need that. You're stopping all of that. Isn't this obvious to y'all? While we celebrate our countrymen getting fired, while we have Elon Musk holding chainsaws and parading with graphic tees that he's a slasher. Something else is going on in our nation that we need to pay attention to.